Yeah, I love the like big church sales and stuff. They're so rare here for some reason, but man, do I love them. I think that's why I also don't tend to go. I don't even look up the yard sales. I really should, but like I don't even look them up because I'm the kind of person that if I go to like 2 or 3 yard sales and I don't find anything, I'm just never gonna find anything ever again.
Right? Just over it, completely over it. I get that, and I don't look them up either. But they're so abundant here. I mean, I just get up and jump in the car and head out looking for the neon signs, and usually find 5 or 6 without even looking on Facebook Marketplace for the advertisements. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just there to be had, and some are great and some are crap, but that's part of it. You never know. Don't know if you don't go.
Yes, and that's what gets me like I'm currently not leaving my house because of my autoimmune and stuff,
Mhm.
but like I have so much FOMO, thrift store FOMO right now. I'm like they have to be missing me.
Right. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm like, if I go 2 or 3 days without hitting my Goodwills, I'm like in DTs. I'm like, I wonder what's sitting on those shelves waiting on me, or I wonder who's getting them, or Becky of Vintage Cat Society's getting all my stuff. Just kidding, Becky. I was gonna say my view on that, like even my husband, because I got Becky into selling online. I actually met her at her own yard sale that she was having, and that's how her and I met. So I got her into selling on Instagram, and even my husband was like, "Are you not worried that she's gonna get, the stuff you want to get from the Goodwill? She's gonna pick your honey holes." And I'm like, "There's enough. I honestly feel like there's enough vintage to go around. I mean, and she has an eye for different things than I do. So her followers might like different stuff than mine. I mean, I just feel like there's enough to go around, and I don't view it as a threat or anything like that. Just try to support just like everybody else, and let's have fun with it and do what we want to do."
Absolutely. There is enough, way too much old stuff.
I
Sometimes.
don't know.
All right. So, as a small business owner, do you have any goals for your business? Short term or long term?
I'm bad about that. I mean, I just don't know if I view them really as goals. I don't sit down and make a list, or, I mean, I want to be more successful. I want to be able to, get to a point to where I can, um, financially contribute more to the household, of course. And I mean, there was a time I wanted a brick and mortar. I just don't, for me personally, and in my geographic area, I don't feel like that's gonna be beneficial. The overhead's just too high. Maybe if I got a place to where I was consigning out to other shops and getting their money as well, then it would be worth it. But I really don't want to micromanage. I mean, that's kind of why I do my own thing as it, already. I don't want to have to deal with other people's stuff too.
I
If that makes
understand.
sense.
Yeah, I
So
had the same
just keep
idea.
going.
Yeah, when I started, I really wanted that long-term goal to be the brick and mortar, but then I actually went in and talked to a lot of local antique shop owners, and all of them said, if online works for you, stay there.
And,
Don't
I, and Instagram's perfect. I mean, we don't have the fees like on Etsy and eBay, so that makes it where we can, and we don't have the brick and mortar overhead either. So I mean, we can give better prices because we're not getting hit from every other direction, wanting a piece of it too.
Absolutely. Do you sell on any other platforms or just on Instagram?
99% Instagram. I tried Etsy, never had any luck there personally. Um, eBay really angers me.
Yes.
I try to like if I find something that's worth, that's worth a few $100 or something like that, I would try eBay just to get a wider audience and that kind of thing. But I'd have people bid and went never pay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, just to me, it was just like, yeah, I didn't care for eBay either. It was frustrating. It made me angry, and they're so quick to side with the buyer versus the seller when which is good, of course, for the buyer, but there's a lot of people out there try to take advantage too, and that will have the items safe in their possession and make a claim saying they never received it just to get their refund. And you're like,
Yeah, I've even had
yeah,
people buy something from me on eBay and then claim that it arrived broken and send back the same thing but a totally different one. So clearly they had a broken one, bought my good one, and sent me back the broken one. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this is different.
people are crazy. People are something. I love the IG world. Even our buyers. I mean, all the sellers are awesome, but I mean, we have a pretty tight knit buyer community too, and I feel like we all know them and they all know us and they respect, you know what I mean? It feels, to me, it feels very personable versus John Doe from eBay that I don't know or that I have no interaction with. Does that make any sense?
Oh, absolutely. Because I feel like when I get messages from people on eBay, they act as if I'm a robot or I'm some big company, and they're just like just yelling at me, and I haven't even done anything wrong yet. But that would never happen on Instagram. There is not anybody on Instagram, because it is very personable.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I appreciate that a lot. I do.
Me too. I love having this community. It's really
Yeah.
great. So speaking of our community, I wanted to know what your top tips for other Instagram sellers would be, both new sellers and established sellers.
Um, you you have to stay out there. You have to keep posting. I absolutely hate reposting. Um, but it has to be done. I mean, you have to keep in the feed. If you don't have anything new to list, you still have to get out there, whether it's a collage, whether it's reposting, whether it's a picture of the ocean. Hey, hope everybody has a great day. Just stuff like that. I feel like keeps your posts visible in the algorithm. Um, Communication, of course, with buyers is super key. Um, and being able to be on call, basically beck and call 24/7 for questions and answers. I think something that helps me a lot is pictures. I mean, you can get 10 pictures on a post, get your 10 pictures on the post. I mean, I'd always take one with the measuring, with the tape measure so people have a size reference. Because to me, I've done it before. I've bought something so cool and I get it home and it's this big. Where I thought it was this big, and it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this?
I weirdly have people think the other way all the time. They think something is really small. I guess because I have that all white background or something, and then they go, "Oh my gosh, it's so big."
So big and awesome.
Yeah, it's just funny how often.
But I think pictures are important. Just give them as many angles, the size reference, everything, anything to eliminate them asking questions because it saves you time. And they don't, I mean, most is going to be impulse buys anyway. Most of what we sell, someone doesn't need. They want it. They see it. They love it. They want it in their life.
Yeah.
Is how I view it anyway. And so just give them everything they need to eliminate questions so they can click and buy. And also for the seller too, so you're not wasting your valuable time that you could be out picking, out packing, whatever, answering questions. So
Yeah.
I think the pictures are important. And shipping, I mean, do whatever you can to get shipping as cheap as possible for them.
And secure as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But I mean, being on the East Coast, I mean, I lose a lot of sales to California and to New Mexico. Once they get the shipping quote, they're like, oh, and I can't blame them. I can't justify them paying that plus $20, to have this particular piece. But you know, we have tricks of the trade. Little secrets we can pull out every now and then that can help us with that, whether it's using other platforms or stuffing in a flat rate envelope or whatever we have to do to make the deal.
Absolutely. I feel like shipping it's really like 50% of the job sometimes. I
Right,
I
absolutely.
spend so much time shipping, but like I I'm very confident when my packages go out.
Yeah, yeah. I think me and you've discussed this before. Um, Determine how successful your shop is by how much bubble wrap you're buying. And
I
I've sent enough refunds because items have arrived broken in my earlier selling days, not being as experienced. It's worth that extra bubble wrap to ensure that you're to the best of your ability. Sometimes with USPS, you have no choice in the matter, but
yeah, especially around the holidays. Oh my gosh.
I
I
I've worth the extra bubble not to have, because I personally, if it arrives to your house broken, I send you a refund. I mean, that's policy, but it's worth the extra bubble not to have to send the money back.
Absolutely. I reflect sometimes in my first 6 months of doing this, I didn't have any bubble wrap. I didn't wrap anything with how in the world did anything get there? I did have a lot of things break. I learned, but man.
Right. Well, and two, that's something I missed from my old job. When I was working the 8 to 5, I had access to free bubble wrap. The automotive parts and everything, when they would come in from the manufacturers, would be wrapped in bubble wrap and bumper wrap and boxes. And, so I never had to pay a penny for packing supplies when I did that. And that was awesome. But I'm on my own now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have every friend and family member within like a distance that keeps all their boxes, all their packing supplies. Just so I I I really only buy bubble wrap and tissue paper, I think, at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't buy boxes unless I need a big one,
Yeah.
like a specific size or something. I might have to go to Home Depot or Walmart and get a larger one. But I normally just order all mine from the post office.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
it here to the door.
Yep. Absolutely. Amazon boxes have been my like saving grace. Everybody gives me Amazon box, and they're the perfect size for so many little things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything that we didn't talk about today that you wanted to add?
Not that I can think of.
Well, it's been wonderful.
You're the interviewer. I'm the interviewer.
I know, you answered all my questions. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you, and thank you again for being my first interviewee. And I will see you on Instagram.
Awesome. See you later.